Movie review: 1955's Marty, directed by Delbert Mann. It was his first picture directing. Screenplay by Paddy Chayefsky, and it starred Ernest Borgnine in the lead role as Marty and Betsy Blage as Clara. There's also this movie was tremendously successful. It received a number of nods at the Oscars. It won for Best Picture, it won for Best Director and Best Leading Actor, and also nominations for Betsy Blair for Best Actress and a Supporting Actor nomination. So what have we got? We've got a setting in the Bronx in New York City. It's mid-50s, of course. Marty works at a butcher's shop. He's a member of a big family with lots of sisters and brothers. They are a Italian-American family, and we arrive at the beginning of the movie with Marty working, serving customers, and repeatedly customers are talking to Marty about why he hasn't got married yet. He's a 34-year-old man, single, and very much the stereotypical family of the time was that men were married by the time they got to 30. Marty lives with his mother, and basically the film is about how this man basically goes through life, and in the early stages we see a picture of him working hard, but in his leisure time he is still caught up with his loser friends who are going out trying to seek out the opposite sex and find a partner, and it's all to no avail. Marty has a very low self-esteem. He considers himself to be ugly, unattractive, and he's lonely, and he has almost given up the task of trying to find a girl suitable for him. Girls that are unattractive are described as dogs, and the discussion with his peers, it very much falls into a typical peer group discussion, describing women either as dogs or in the superlatives, highly attractive, very beautiful, basically focusing on the sex. So what do we have? Well, we have about as the film develops, Marty goes along to a ballroom with one of his friends, witnesses a young girl being ditched by a man as a consequence of another girl appearing who he prefers. And Marty takes pity on this girl and seeks her out and starts a sort of dialogue with her based on the fact that he's a misfit as well, and that they're a pair well matched. This then promotes a highly receptive relationship on the date, where Marty changes rapidly from being a poor person with self-doubt, inhibitions, and he becomes super confident, very talkative, and very empathetic. It's a transformation, really, being with this young girl, Clara, played brilliantly by Betsy Blage. Then we have the response from friends and his mother and others that this girl isn't right for him, that she's not attractive enough, and that he should get back out there and find something better. That's the gist of the film. I thought it was very sensitively put together. I watched this film about a decade back and I found it to be extremely ordinary and couldn't really work out why it gained so much attention and won the Oscar Best Film. However, watching it a second time, and it's amazing how some movies you really do need to give it a second look. It's really a film about how the ordinary can be extraordinary, how life can succeed with all that, without all the frills and glamour, about how success isn't really managed by how glamorous you are or by how much glitz you have in your possessions, but more about following your heart. And the fashionable way to succeed isn't always the correct way, and often it ends in failure. It's a inspiring sort of movie. I can see why Born won the Oscar for this. It's a complete contrast, really, to many roles that he played in other films, where he is very much the sort of hard man, stereotypical, macho, egocentric male. So that's it then. That's Marty, 1955.